There we go. I was enthralled with my Janet Jackson
Welcome
impression.
to the New Author Podcast, a weekly podcast diary starring Jerry Evanoff and Rich Kacy. Join them weekly as they talk about writing, publishing, and marketing their books. And now, here are your hosts.
I'm not actually sure how she does that. It's like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 or something like that, right before the Rhythm Nation. My sister used to do that all the time. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the New Author Podcast. Today is Monday, August 25th, 2025. It's episode number 324. I'm one of the hosts of this podcast, Jerry Evanoff, not Janet Jackson. Miss Jackson if you're nasty, but it's Jerry Evanoff. With me, as he is each week, and apparently we didn't get out of the 60s today, and you're in the hundreds still, Rich?
Yeah, high 90s, low hundreds.
Oh my!
But we have that
cold
front. We have that
been
cold
down there
front
a
pushing
while.
down here. Yeah, I've been down here for 34
do
years.
You like it?
No.
Is it okay?
No.
That's what I was wondering. Like, is there a point where you're like, we got to go back north?
What I do like is the November through February, where it very rarely gets below freezing. So
yeah, like that. I don't know what to do about that because up here I can't stand it. But if I went, I was in Florida in 1997, and like, June, July, August. I left at the end of August. But like me and my buddy Brian, who listens to this podcast, we went out golfing one time, and we had to go out at like 6 a.m. because the minute the sun's up high enough in the sky, you're just roasting. It was in the middle of summer, so it's weird. I think I just need to move to San Diego. I think that's like the 75 degrees and sunny every day.
Yeah, but my son, when they lived out there, they said it was really monotonous. Never a cloud in the sky, always sunny. Of course, now
this all sounds good.
Yeah, now you can't see the sky for all the smoke, though. So
right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, we have the Canadian smoke coming down over us.
Oh, that's true.
So,
that's true.
But all right. Well, let me jump into my stats here. I didn't say your full name. I feel like I should. So Rich Kacy is the one who joined. I just said Rich. So I just feel like I need to say Rich Kacy. I don't know.
Yeah. It's okay that you didn't ask me how I was doing because I had something really witty to say.
Oh no!
But the Janet Jackson impression just knocked it right out of my head.
I apologize. I feel bad. Do we want to start over?
No, maybe it'll come back to me at some point.
All right, good. Okay. I can do 5.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. Let's see. Let's jump into my stats from last week. So book 9 is now up to 29,940 words. And again, I'm hiding the goal until the end of the weekly recap. We'll make it a little tease. Again, if you're doing the math every week and you remember where I was, you know whether I hit my goal or not. I will say it was a bit dicey. The question is, did I get there? We'll just leave it at that. 29,940. I am probably 1 to 2 chapters past the midpoint right now. I really want it to be done 1 week from today, but being as how I have about 14 and a half to 15 chapters finished, and it's probably going to be 26, 27, 28 by the time I'm done. Probably not going to get done this week. Really wanted to.
That would be a real push.
Yeah, it really would. It's funny. I probably have the time to get close this week. It's just not going to happen. So. For the year, I'm up to 135,899 words, which is just under 10,000 words away from the goal. The goal was 145, which is great because that means I'm going to hit it with this book 9 by the time I finish it. Really happy about that. And my words per hour actually went up 2 to 1,290. So pretty good week overall for me in terms of the stats. But the question is, did I hit my goal?
Yeah. Well, for me, it was a slow 5 days. I didn't get a chance to do much editing at all. In fact, I see I didn't even edit these notes very well. But, what did I do? I lost it.
You deleted it, yeah.
Did I delete the whole thing?
Yeah, hit Control-Z. You'll be fine.
Okay.
Whoever invented the Control-Z undo is brilliant.
Yeah. There it is.
Did you get it back?
Okay.
Oh,
yeah, I got it back.
There you
go. Okay. All right. Anyways, I did do a little bit of editing. I was up a measly 487 words, and the novel now stands at 41,593. I was only able to get through a couple thousand more words. I was shooting for at least getting through 5,000. That didn't happen. But I didn't add nearly as many words on this as I did last week. So maybe the writing's getting a little bit better as I go on, or I just don't care as much. Who knows? The total words for the year now stands at 168,849 of a 200,000 word goal. So I'm still in good shape as far as that goes.
All right. Well, getting into, since we talked 5 days ago, so getting into Thursday of last week, I had kicked around the idea of working from home on this day because I had a fantasy football draft that night at 9 p.m. And when it says 9 p.m., it's not going to be 9 p.m. They actually sent the text out saying, be there at 8:30. And, there were like 3 people there at 8:30, including me. So I ended up at 5:10 a.m. when I woke up. I was like, yeah, I'm going to work from home today. And I went back to sleep until about 6:30 or 6:20. And I ended up working all day from home. There was no writing at lunch. It's one of those days I had planned for a writing day, trying to get 1,000 words. There was no writing. I really wanted to prepare for my auction that night, which means I make these big fancy budgets that are color coded, and they're on Excel sheets that have, or Google spreadsheets that have macros. I can put an X here and it colors a certain color when somebody drafts them. I can put an M and that means it came to me and it colors a different color. And I have budgets that I work math on as I'm going. I love doing it so much.
But my question is, do you have the really important things set up in front of you, which would be the nacho chips and the dips and the Diet Cokes and stuff like that?
The host had pizza and wings, and
okay.
So it was fine. Yeah, we did okay. In fact, I didn't eat dinner on purpose, and by the time I got there, starving. Yeah, so it was nice. So the draft started probably around 9:15. My buddy couldn't make it until a little bit later. His kid was playing. He's a freshman. He's playing his first varsity football game. So it's a freshman making the varsity team at school. So he wanted to go. So I was really on the phone with him. I had one earbud in, and I'm like bidding for me at the same time that I'm bidding for him. And I kept telling him, I'm not going to bid against myself here. I'm going to tell you whether I'm bidding, and then you can't.
Yeah.
And so he showed up about 9:45. It ended up not getting anyone, which was kind of how he does it anyway. And then the draft went until after 1 a.m.
Wow.
And I'm 45 minutes from my house. When I pulled in the driveway and looked down at the clock, it was 1:52 a.m. And I was getting up at 6:30 the next morning to work, luckily from home. I've done this draft before before COVID, when I was going into the office the next day. That was never fun. This was a little bit less fun. On Friday, I did this is another half day. I woke up around 6:30 and worked until 11. And I took Max over to my mom and dad's. I told my mom and dad when I was there, I'm like, I'm going to crash at some point today. I just hope it's after I'm done writing and not while I'm writing or as I'm driving to go write, because I was not feeling great. Went to Buffalo Wild Wings and had some boneless barbecue wings and some fries. I hadn't got wings there in a while, so I had some boneless barbecue wings and some fries. Fantastic. Let's see, what did I do there?
I've got to come up to your Buffalo Wild Wings, because I've never had good wings at Buffalo Wild.
Oh, they're good.
Wild Wings.
Yeah, so they're not huge, but they're good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So while I was there, I first went to chapter. What did I go to? What does that say? I added a measly, piddly. I say that jokingly, kind of. I'm just reading out what I typed. Okay. I added 1,467 words. I don't know why that was. Oh, I know why. Okay. So I added 2 more scenes to chapter 12, and I say measly and piddly jokingly because I wanted to hit 1,500 on that day. And in fact, I talked on Wednesday when we last podcasted about how on those days I wanted to set the goal at 1,500, but I wanted to hit like 2,000. I think I even said 2,400 a few times. I don't know what I was smoking that night. But so I hit 1487, and I could feel the crashing coming. I could just feel it coming. So I left after that, got home, and so that was about 80 minutes of writing. Brought my words per hour down just a little bit. Once I got home, it was about 2:30 in the afternoon. I made the giant mistake of sitting down on the couch, and I didn't get up until about 5:30. So that was about 3 hours of just, I think I was in and out of sleep. Every time I kind of looked at the TV, I don't want to say woke up because I don't remember if I slept or not, but every time I looked at the TV, there was a different YouTube video on. So somebody was sneaking into my house and putting new videos on, or I was half awake. I used to, in my previous life, my boss used to call it voging. I don't know why they called it voging. Voging, something like that, where that was for him. That meant he was kind of in and out of sleep, kind of half awake, half asleep for a long period of time. It was almost like a semi-nap, he used to call it. He used to say, I used to do that. I'd wake up refreshed, And I got to say, I woke up refreshed. So I got up at 5:30. I felt good. I don't know why I felt so good. Maybe it was because I just needed to take a break. But I came back here and played my football game. I continued my 1972 Bills-Jets game. Then I went to my computer in the living room. I was working on my Shiny Things project, my fantasy football live draft application I'm trying to work on. But I was in bed by 9:15 because I was getting up at 5:30 in the morning to golf. So, to take the 4 hours of sleep the previous night, adding the fact that I'm getting up at 5:30 the next day. Golf.
We can see where the priorities are here. You stay up till 1 a.m. on the night before you have to work, but you go to bed at 9 o'clock the night before you have to go to golf. Yep.
I'm not stupid, Rich.
No.
I know what I'm doing. Saturday, our tea time was at 7:04. It keeps moving later and later as we move to the end of the summer. We used to get like 624 and then 640, and now we're at 704. I played really well, shot 84. The lesson is definitely paying off. Ever since I started taking 3/4 swings, I'm able to get into that position that he wanted me to get into as I'm coming down through the ball. I was hitting them straight. I was hitting them long.
Wow, great.
I had a couple of them that were bad. Of course, one of them was at the hole where the lake is. There's like 3 holes there that has water, and of course the bad shot came on one of them, number 17. But it was okay. Overall, I was very happy.
Did you put it in the lake?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
way out in the middle of the lake. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I took a drop, hit up short. I think I got a double bogey. I had 3 double bogeys, about 7 pars, and I birdied a hole. I think I birdied the first par 3. I don't remember which hole I birdied, but I birdied. I birdied the first par 4. That's the second par 4. Anyway, came home around 11:45, and the Browns actually they were playing their final preseason game at 1:00. All their quarterbacks were playing, including their starters. I really wanted to see it, but I also really wanted to write. So what I did was I recorded it, knowing that I'd be able to. I needed to go to a place. I couldn't go to Buffalo Wild Wings. I couldn't go to places where there'd be TVs.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to go to a place where I knew that the game would never come on. So I went to Hothead Burrito. There's 2 TVs there, but they're always on those games that you play that have trivia questions.
Mm-hmm.
And I just basically stayed away from Twitter. I stayed away from like ESPN. A lot of times as I'm eating, I'll check the news and I'll check like ESPN. I'll check my fantasies. But I stayed away from all that. After I finished eating, I went to chapter 13. This was my midpoint chapter. I added 1,737 words to it, but I didn't finish it. I had scheduled a cheap $20 Yahoo Fantasy Football League for myself at 4:00. The draft was at 4, because I just wanted to practice a 10-team league, because my big league for my old job is in a couple weeks, and that's a 10-team league. So actually, it's a week from Thursday. So I wanted to practice that, and luckily I got the same pick that I'll have in that draft. So it was really nice to be able to practice for $20. I'll still play the league out, and if I win, I can still win like $100. So, so it was nice. That takes about 45 minutes. After the draft was over, I opened up my my DVR. I watched the Browns game, and then for fun, just out of nowhere, I signed up for a $150 auction league at 9 p.m. that night to do some practicing for my big Vegas auctions later this week. And it's a blast. It sucks. I love doing them. I'm terrible at them, but I love doing them. So I finished that around 11:15 and went to bed around 11:30. But there was no golf.
And the important part is that you can stop anytime you want.
Oh yeah,
I just don't want to.
Yeah, I just don't feel like it. Yeah. No golf on this morning, Sunday morning. So I actually just got up when I wanted to. I got up around 7, messed around on the computer for a little while, working on my shiny things. Checkbook. I try to balance my checkbook every day, and I do it in Excel, but I balance it every day. Checking fantasy baseball teams, just all the stuff that I like to do in a morning where I don't have to go anywhere anytime. I just go when I want. So then I went back to Buffalo Wild Wings. I went to the other Buffalo Wild Wings this time.
This will probably horrify you, but I think it's probably been at least 7-8 years since I balanced my checkbook.
Oh, jeez. Oh my God. How do you know how much money you have?
I just look at the balance.
Oh, I have, again, I know this isn't going to surprise you. I have a big fancy Excel with click this here and it adds all these things up. And I have another sheet on my spreadsheet that has my how much bills I'm paying for the entire year of 2025. And probably within the next couple months, I'll set up all of 2026.
I used to do that. And after, a decade or a couple decades of doing it, I finally realized that, there's never a mistake. And if there is a mistake, it's usually one I've made. So
sure. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
Why do it?
So Buffalo Wild Wings, this was a big day. This is a big day. Because I was behind. I knew I was behind. I didn't write Thursday. I didn't get to 1,500 on Friday. Only 1,700 on Saturday. So I wasn't catching up anywhere. So I started working through chapter 13. I added 690 words to finish that chapter. Then I wrote the first scene of chapter 14. I added 449 words for that. The next scene was short, 234 words. The third scene was 1,354, and that gave me a total of 2,727 in just under 2 hours. And while I was sitting there, I just thought, you know what? Let's just write the last scene. It's going to be short. Let's do this. 352 words gave me a total of 3,079 words for the day. Which was fantastic. I still wasn't at my goal for the week, which is 6,500, but getting really close and actually knocking off that chapter. That chapter 14 was a big one. There's 4 scenes. I may leave it like that when I format it. I kind of like the way they fit together. But if there's a natural split somewhere, I wouldn't be surprised if I split it up.
It wouldn't be strange. I just got done reading a book where there was more than one chapter where there were 3 or 4 scenes that were split up. So
if they're short, and I think if they're kind of quick moving, which these are, I think you can keep going with them in the same chapter. So we'll see. Got home, grocery store like always. Did not do anything else really the rest of the day. I worked on shiny things. I cleaned out my fridge. I took out my garbage, did my dishes, all the stuff that I like to do on Sundays. All the stuff that I have to do on Sundays. I don't know if I actually like it. And by the time I was done, it was probably, 4 or 5 o'clock. And I just kind of did nothing the rest of the day. I just kind of sat around, rested. It was a long week, a long end of the week. And then today I was in the office. So I'm going to the office Monday and Tuesday this week, today and tomorrow, since I'll be on vacation Thursday and Friday. So at lunch today, I began working on chapter 15. I had 1,094 words in about 50 minutes. And this was the day that I did beat my goal. My goal for the week was 6,500, and I got a total of 7,375 for the week. So I killed it. Not bad for a 5-day week in terms of our podcasting, but those middle days, Wednesday and Thursday, I generally don't write much anyway. So, all those words, whether or not we podcasted Monday last week or Wednesday, all those words were going to come near the end of the week and over the weekend. So I had a good week overall. I was pretty happy with it.
No, that's great for 5 days, especially like you said, you had, there was lots of time in there where you weren't writing or not very much. So, well, my week starting on Thursday, I don't know if it was because all the colleges are now in session here and the public schools are back too for the fall, but the library was really, really crowded. It was something in the air that got them out. So we were jammed right from the time I got there at 9 a.m. right through till 6 p.m. And the only time I had off really was the lunch that I had. So didn't really have any time to write, didn't have any time to read. Just helping people with their problems instead of my problems. By the time I got home and I ate, I was just kind of beat, and I spent the rest of the evening reading that book that I've been reading, Wayward, for the book club that'll be coming up in. Actually, it's probably about 2 weeks now. 2 weeks from today, or from Thursday, which is today. No, today's not Thursday. What is today? Today's Monday.
Monday. Today's Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Friday, I had the day off, but I felt kind of lousy, so I just stayed in the house all day. I didn't want to go out in the heat, and I just read. I actually finished Wayward, which is nice. I think it's the earliest I've ever finished a book club book, which means I'll probably have to reread it before the book club actually meets, so I can figure out what it was that I read. I will have to recommend it, though. It was good. There was some parts in the middle that kind of wavered around. There was a little bit of sloppiness in the middle, but the end was really good. And the characters basically all came out on top, which I guess is what you would expect to happen. And some of the bad guys from earlier in the book really got the shit kicked out of them, if you want to call it that way. One guy actually lost an eye. So it was, So it was, a lot of, it was kind of a revenge story in a lot of ways. And, so the women that came out on top, they were feeling it a little bit. I picked up my laptop after reading that sometime in mid-afternoon, late afternoon. I was going to do some writing, but I really only managed to get through that 2,000 words I was talking about. I added 400 and some before I got distracted, not by shiny things like you, but by watching Sandman videos on
I don't
YouTube.
know what that is.
Oh, you don't know Sandman? Oh, you got to look him up. You got to look him up. Sandman it's in its 3rd season now, I think. It's Sandman was a comic strip that Neil Gaiman wrote way back when, and they did a live action version of it. It was really, really good, especially the character, the actor that plays Dream in it. Really, really dead. I don't see how he could keep that face for the whole time. They must have shot it in 30-second increments for him to be that deadpan. But so I enjoyed that. Later in the evening, I started a new book entitled Straight Man by Richard Russo. And I really think I'm going to love this book because it's all about a reluctant English department chairman where the faculty is more savagely divided than the Balkans. is what the dust jacket says.
Does that hit a little close to home for you? I'm curious.
Yep. I've read the first 3 chapters and I go, yep, I recognize these people. It's exactly like I may have said this to you before on this podcast, but in academia we say that the fights are so savage because the stakes are so low, and that's and that's basically what this book is all about. Saturday, I woke up again with low energy, but I did force myself to go outside for a couple hours. But by noon, I had it and headed back inside, where I promptly fell asleep for 3 hours. So I was either fighting something off, or I was still a little bit residually sick.
What day was that?
Saturday. So
we both took nice long naps on Saturday.
Nice. I was 3 hours and I was just out for the whole time. Usually I set my alarm, and I just didn't do it this time. I didn't think I would sleep that long, but I was wrong. When I finally did wake up, I did almost nothing but watch TV all evening until we went to bed. Sunday was church in the morning, but since I've been gaining a bit of weight back, because I've really been slowly slipping over the last couple of weeks into eating more noodles and less protein. Something about, when you're not feeling well, that big bowl of chicken noodle soup and stuff is a lot more enticing than a huge hamburger. So anyways, so there was like no protein in the fridge. So I had to do something about that. So I thawed like 10, maybe even 15 pounds of chicken out of the freezer and marinated that and then cooked it up. And that should last me more than a week. And hopefully I'll get back to eating more protein and not reach for the ramen every time I'm hungry. Towards the evening, I did wander outside, and I planted a bunch of cucumber plants I had started from seed about 10 days ago. If they all actually produce the way I think they're going to produce, if we don't get an early frost, we're going to be absolutely buried in cucumbers, because I think I planted 16. I planted 32 cells, and each cell had 2 plants in it. So 64 cucumber plants. So we'll see what happens with all that. At night, for some reason, we did a Death in Paradise binge watch, episodes that we've probably seen for like 100 times. But there's just nothing new. It's been dropping on BritBox. They did drop Sister Boniface. I don't know if you've ever watched that or not.
Heard of it. I've never watched it.
Yeah, they've started dropping. They drop on Tuesdays, but they're, instead of, I guess a lot of these shows now are going to the once a week drop, as opposed to the way they did for a while, which is just dump them all at one time.
I love it. I love that.
I think it's a little bit better. It allows people to get a little bit more excited about it and to talk about it online and things like that.
They're probably doing it because, if you have a 10 episode series and you drop them all at once, I'm going to subscribe to your service for a month and I'm going to drop it. But if you do it once, I'm going to subscribe to your service for 3 months and maybe I find something else while I'm on there and keep going. So.
Right. In fact, that's kind of what I'm waiting for. I don't know if you watched any of Wednesday, the first season, which has been a couple of years ago now. Yeah. They're now dropping the new Wednesdays, second season on Hulu. But I'm going to wait till they're all dropped, and then I'm going to subscribe for a month at a discount rate. Right now, they're offering it for like $3.99 a month. I'm going to watch all the Wednesdays, and I'm going to go back and watch all the Murders in the Building. Only Murders in the Building.
Yeah. I tried. I don't know. I think I'm just struggling to watch anything that I've never seen before for more than like 40 minutes. And I just I watched about 5 episodes of I recognize Only Murders in the Building. I recognize that it's good, but the last one I watched is when they were like, wait, did Sting do it? And that was like episode 5. And I'm just like, I don't feel like going back. I don't know why. I love Martin Short and Steve Martin and the way they interact, and knowing that in real life they're close friends too, which makes it even better. Yeah. And Selena Gomez is really good in that too.
I remember her being really good. Surprisingly.
I'm just like, I know it's good. I know everybody in my family loves it. I know it's good. I think my attention span is just gone.
What's really funny is this, out of the 3 of them, Selena Gomez is really the straight man of the whole thing. And it's kind of strange. So anyways, let's see where that brings us to today, Monday. It was a normal work day for me. I spent most of my time on the public desk. One of our staff is out having medical tests done all week long. I think they're doing something about her brain, and they're fitting her with some kind of cap with all kinds of electrodes on it, and she's got to wear that thing for the whole week. So,
is she going to come in and work at all?
No, not at all. She's out the whole week. So we're short staffed, which means I'll be most on the public desk quite a bit. I did have an hour after lunch to work through some of the book donations, and among other things, I came across a James Scott Bell novel.
Oh, okay.
And I've read, I think, every book that he's written that's about writing, and he has a ton of them. how to write good characters, how to write pulp fiction, all these kinds of things, how to write subtext. But I've never read one of his stories. So this will be interesting. I'm gonna read this novel and see if he's a good writer or not. Maybe I wasted all my time reading all these books that he had. And now we're recording, and after this, I'm gonna get some dinner, and I'm probably gonna do a little bit of puzzle work before bed. So for me, it was an okay week. My health wasn't great. I wasn't feeling super over the weekend, which is really terrible when I have a weekend off. I don't mind going to work when I feel bad. I just hate to waste my days off. In fact, we used to, way back when I was in grad school, we used to sometimes, we did two things. We would call up our major professors. I was kind of in a team that worked in this one lab, and we would call up the two professors who were head over the lab, and we just tell them that we felt too good to come into work today. Nice. And the other thing we would do is sometimes on a Friday, we would go down to a local bar for lunch, and we would call them back up about 2:00 in the afternoon and say that we couldn't make it back to the lab. We were pinned down by sunshine. And they would come and join us. So that was
right.
Right. So anyways, that was my week. Don't really have anything special on the running list of future things to do, but I did finally put on the list to go back and review the Launchpad self-publishing podcast, whatever you want to call it, lessons that were about building a mailing list before you've actually published. Because I got to start thinking about that real soon.
Boy, I should do that too. That's a good idea.
Well, I'm going to go through them. I'm going to go searching through there and see what I can find, and I'll let you know where it's at. That'll probably make it easier for you.
Yeah. There was one thing I was going to add to my list of future things to do. I was really excited by this sometime at the end of last week, and it was a YouTube channel. And I've been searching for it here while you were talking. I don't know if you saw me looking off to the right. I was listening. But I was trying to find this YouTube channel and I don't remember what it was called. I don't remember anything about it other than I was really excited as I'm watching it because it's a writer podcast. And I believe it's a woman who hosts the channel. It's a small company, and they have a set of tools for they analyze your book, blah blah. But one of the things they have is they have a marketing plan, and it's kind of a plan created by a human being that they will take you through. It's a pay thing, so you pay some amount of money that wasn't very much, maybe $70 to $80. I wish I could remember. But it also has AI attached to it. So like you follow along with the plan, but at the same time, you're kind of telling the AI, which is kind of learned or been set up specifically for this purpose. And you tell it what you're doing, and it'll kind of craft that plan to what you're doing when your book's coming out. I mean, that kind of thing. It was really cool. I was really excited by the technology behind it. So I'm reading, I'm on their website, like I'm watching some of the videos. And then out of nowhere, I realized that it's for nonfiction only.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And I just thought, that is so disappointing because I might try to visit it again if I can remember what it was called. Yeah. I might try to read. If anybody out there knows what I'm talking about, please holler at me.
It seems like I've seen a few of those out there around because, and they're all nonfiction because nonfiction is easy for an AI to get its mind wrapped around.
Book Launchers. Here it is. I just found it. Yeah. Book Launchers is the name of the channel. But yeah, you might be. I mean, I don't know. I feel like it's just a topic, whether it's a fiction topic or a nonfiction. It's still just I don't know. It just seemed, I was really disappointed by this. I was all in. I was going to do it. I like their YouTube. I mean, go watch their YouTube channel. They were really good. Book Launchers is 2 words. Book Launchers is what it's called. But I just was disappointed and I might revisit it to make sure that I have that right. I'm pretty sure I did. But I was ready to add that, and then I did.
Kind of related to the topic, I called my HVAC company today to schedule a maintenance appointment. They do these like 2-3 times a year. I'm on a plan where they come out for free and they do all the cleaning. I can't wait to
hear how this is related.
It's related because I called and the woman answered the phone and she goes, "Hello, my name is Sarah. How can I help you today?" And I said, I said, "Good afternoon, Sarah. I want to make an appointment to have somebody come out and do the regularly scheduled maintenance on my HVAC system." And she goes, "Well, I can definitely help you with that, but first let me be sure that you understand that I am an AI digital assistant."
How did it sound?
By the end, I tell you what, by the end of the conversation, I swear I was talking to a real person.
Wow, that's
it was
impressive.
Really, really good. Yep.
Nice. Good for
They'd done a
them.
lot of work on it. And then I had to call the exact same company back to schedule a different appointment because I wanted somebody to come out here and give me an estimate to replace my water heater, which is probably at this point 43 years old. And it's up in my attic right above my head where I'm sitting right now, which means when that thing does rust through, and it is starting to rust through, it's going to pour water right down through my ceiling.
Yeah. I hope it happens while we're recording. I'm not editing anything out.
But by that time, when I called the plumbing section of that company, I actually got a real person. I told her, I just had a really interesting experience, talking to this AI makes it. And she goes, I know, I'm really sorry. I go, no, you don't have to be sorry. It was okay.
It was fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
She asked me for my social security number, whatever.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. We're having drinks later. So.
Nice. All right. So in terms of my addicted to, it still really is working on this fantasy football app with JavaScript and ChatGPT. I think I said this last week, but I had to go in because the chat that I was using was getting so long that it was really getting bogged down. So I said to it, hey, listen, I have to start a new chat. This is really, really getting slow. We've gotten so many messages here. Can you write me a nice summary that I can put into the beginning of the next chat so it knows where we are? And it gave me this beautiful summary of all the different things we've added to the program, what it looks like, the code, the language it's written in, the different plugins I'm using in there, like all these interesting things. And I was able to just start the next chat and just continue on as if it was the previous chat. I'm getting closer. I'm going to have to do it again. The only thing I'm disappointed about is I'm doing it on my home computer, which I can't take with me to Vegas. So I kind of want to see if I can. It's a lot of code too. When you create a React JavaScript program and you do just a hello world, it's thousands of files for some reason. It's all the plugins that have the files. Wow. I would love to throw it on my laptop. I might try to do that Wednesdays, throw it on my laptop, see if I can take it with me and just work on it while I'm out there when I have some dead time. So, but that's what my definitely addicted to is now.
Well, maybe possibly, I don't know, could be related to my gaining some weight back, is my addicted to is still cookies. Yeah. After finishing off those two boxes of shortbreads and then a whole package of Chips Ahoy cookies, today I went out and bought some fudge covered graham crackers and what amount to some Girl Scout Samoans. So yeah, we'll see. I'm going to try to limit myself. I told myself when I was getting them, well, I could just have, 2 or 3 with coffee. Well, I ended up having 8 cookies today. So let's see if we can back that off a little bit, maybe.
Yeah. It's nice though, right? It feels good.
Oh, it's delicious. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. We're in a little bit of a shorter podcast tonight because, again, 5 days. Let's get into my week for this coming week. And this is where things get crazy. I have my Google calendar open in front of me, and there's literally something every day except for Friday, August 5th and Labor Day. But Labor Day will get filled up with something. If I'm not drafting on Labor Day, something's wrong. I will add something. I don't even care if it's $20 Yahoo draft. I will find something to draft. So tomorrow's Tuesday. I have my golf league in the evening. It's my last week of the year. I'm in the office all day, so I'll try to get 1,000 words at lunch. And then I'll leave probably right at 4. So it's going to be a shorter lunch. Probably, I'm going to try to get 1,000. I probably won't get it, but it's going to be a shorter lunch for me because I have to leave right at 4. A lot of, there's a buddy of mine who he does the skins. So he's got to collect from everyone, but he's in the 3rd group tomorrow. So I try to get there before he goes off so he can hand off everything to me and then I can finish for him. So I'll have to leave a little bit early. So we're going to try for 1,000 words. I'm not expecting it though. Wednesday, I'm working from home on this day. I don't expect to do any writing. I also have a fantasy football draft later on that evening at 8:15 that was scheduled today. I've been waiting for that one to see where it landed. So there'll be no writing on Wednesday. Thursday, I am I'm sleeping in. I'm off work. I'm sleeping in, getting up and leaving around, 9:30 maybe to get to the airport by 10:30. My flight, I believe, is at 12:15 or 12:30 to Vegas. Usually when I do this trip, I have a long layover in like Denver or Chicago. I schedule it that way on purpose where I have like 3 hours. And then I'll get my laptop, I'll find a place to eat, and I'll just sit and write like 1,500 words. But I really wanted to get there. I've never been afraid to fly in my life. I've flown 100 times in the last 15 years. Yeah, that seems about right. And probably more. And I'm just a little leery right now for no reason at all. It's been a year and a half. I just wanted to get on the plane and go.
It has nothing to do with planes hitting each other, helicopters running into
No.
them, none of that stuff. Yeah.
I don't believe that's going to happen because, thousands of flights every day. And, you've heard about it a couple of times. So I don't know what it is. I think it's just being around other people. I don't know. So I'm going to just take a nonstop flight and I'll get there, I think around 1:50, Pacific time. Go get I think maybe it's 2:10. Go get my room. I'm staying at the New York. I'm pretty excited about that. I'll find something to eat. I don't really plan. I'm going to say this, and every time I say this to anybody, they laugh at me. I don't really plan on gambling that much. And when I say gambling, I mean I don't really plan on playing a lot of slot machines this year. For this trip, I'm kind of off of them right now. I mean, I've been there once. The one local here, I've been there once since March, and that was on my birthday, and I lost like $100 really fast, and just kind of soured toward them. But I am going to play the bubble craps. I love the bubble craps. It's a lot of fun. I'm going to bet on sports. It's the opening weekend for college football, and I love college football, especially that weekend. I'll sit at the Park MGM Sportsbook and just sit and watch football for hours. I love that. Maybe I'll go over to the Luxor. So that's Thursday. Now,
just no matter where you go, just don't cross the street because you can't.
Well, no, where I'm staying, there's a bridge that goes from Excalibur to MGM. It's perfect. But I'm not going to cross the street. I have no plans of crossing the street. So I don't know if I'm going to do any writing on Thursday. If I'll say this when it comes to Sunday, but as I'm flying, if there's nobody beside me in the middle seat, I may pull my laptop out and try to get some words written. Because I don't want to be uncomfortable and using your laptop when there's somebody next to you. I'll get a window seat. It's Southwest. You can still pick your seats. That doesn't change for a little while. So and I'm in a higher group where I'm sure I'll be able to get on one of the first ones. So I'll maybe get my laptop out. If I can do that, then I'll probably get 2,000 words because it's a 4-hour flight. But who knows? I don't know if I'm going to or not. Friday, I have 2 drafts, one at 10 a.m. and one at 2 p.m. So they take about 2.5 hours each. So there's an hour and a half break between the first one and the second one. I probably won't leave the room where the auction happens. I'll probably just sit there and write. I mean, I'm going to try to do my best to sit and write. Now, there's people I know from being in these leagues for the last 8 or 9 years who I may talk to at some point. But most likely it'll be them coming talking to me because I'm going to try to write. I'm going to try to get 1,000 words on Friday between the 2 drafts.
You'll have to wander out someplace to get some lunch.
No, the drafts are all catered. So
nice.
There'll be a break.
Nice.
Yeah, there'll be a break after 2 hours. They'll bring lunch in, and then they'll bring dinner in also.
Oh, cool.
And I have $100 in casino credit, so most of my food is going to be paid for.
Nice.
Which is good. So then that's Friday. Friday night, the draft will be over around 4:30 or so. So I'll go find some dinner. That's probably when I'll do a little bit of gambling, but I'll definitely look for some college football. I'll go to a sports book. The one thing about New York that I love the idea of their food choices right now. It's like walking through Manhattan, Vegas style. And it's all the different American food and Mexican and some of the just the stuff that I like. Like it's I'm not a big like the Park MGM has Italy, which is like the Italian food court, and it's a little non-simple for me. I'm a simple eater. I don't want to get fancy with it. So I'm probably not going to like it. So that's why I picked New York. You can walk out of New York. You don't have to walk very far to get into the Park MGM where my drafts are. So I might stay at the Park MGM all day on Friday, go to the sports book. They have a restaurant sports book that's amazing at Park MGM. And it's also no smoking there, which is nice. And then Saturday, I have 1 draft, but it's not until 4 p.m. Pacific time. So I will definitely do some gambling, but I'll also do some writing in the morning. I'm going to try to find a place in this New York City style walking food court area where they just have tables all over the place. I'm going to try to find a place where I can sit for maybe 2 hours and try to get some writing done. I really want to come back with 5,000-6,000 words. I just don't know if I'm going to do it or not.
Right.
So that'll be Saturday, and then Saturday night I'll watch college football. I'll definitely watch because that's all day right there.
I would think the crowds would be a little bit down this time of year with schools starting and stuff.
They're down anyway in Vegas.
Are they? Well,
but also, NFL football starts a week later, so a lot of people aren't going to go until a week later. But it will be crowded. It's generally crowded this weekend anyway because of college football.
Yeah.
Sunday I fly home. I think my flight leaves like 11 something and gets home around 5 something. So again, no writing plan, but if maybe I'll go to the airport really early, or if I can get on the plane and there's no one beside me, again, Southwest, hopefully I can get a seat where there's nobody in the middle. And then maybe I'll pull the laptop out and try to get some words done. Again, I have no no hope for anything this week. I could come back to you on Monday next week on Labor Day and say, yeah, I got no words done. It could very well happen. We'll see. But the goal, I did put a goal down of 5,000 words, but I have no idea how I'm going to get them or what to even expect. That's the goal I'm going to shoot for. All I know is I have 3 big money drafts, and I'm really excited about it. So
it sounds like it'd be fun, actually. Yeah,
it is. It is.
Except for the fact that you have to put up the money for it. That's the part I wouldn't like.
Yes. No, I paid that this morning. I actually paid that this morning. It was. I mean, I'll tell you how much it was. It was he gave me a $200 discount because on the 3rd team, but I paid him $4,230
wow.
for the 3 teams.
Wow,
that would have paid off my car, and I wouldn't be complaining about it. But I don't care. I want to play fantasy football. I like playing the high season. I'm not very good at it, but I really, really enjoy it. So, what else am I spending?
Well, it makes you pay attention. That's for sure.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
My coming week, I'm working 7 days in a row and counting today, where I've already worked. So the next 6 days I'll be working. I don't have to go in tomorrow until noon, but when I do go in, I don't know what I'm going to find because we got one person out who somebody else can call in sick. But the one thing I do want to accomplish tomorrow is I want to start looking through Launchpad and finding out where those lessons are that I need to go back through. So that's going to be my one major goal for tomorrow. If in the evening in the 6 to 9 slot, if it's not very busy, then I'll be able to do some editing then. Wednesday, it's just normal 9 to 6 work day. I'll try to get some editing in when I can. If I do get some time in the back off, then I'll probably watch some of those videos that I found in Launchpad because it's really time to get serious about it. Thursday will be a busy day at the library. I have a large number of people coming in for a Canva class that afternoon, and I'll be scrambling around getting everything set up for it because, why plan ahead? I never do. So do it just in time class preparation. Friday and Saturday, it's just more library work. I'll try again to jam in some editing when I'm not doing what I'm actually paid for while I'm there. And then Sunday is Labor Day bingo extravaganza. So I'm holding my second bingo party there at the library. The first one went off so well, and they had so many people were clamoring on the library's Facebook page and in comments by phone and whatever that they wanted more. So we're going to give them another one on Sunday. And we're going to run it from 3 to 5 in the afternoon. It's going to be Labor Day themed. I plan on showing up as a lumberjack with my 30-inch steel chainsaw and my hard hat and everything. And I'm still not quite decided whether or not I'm going to start the chainsaw up inside the building or not.
Right.
I know my big bosses, neither of them will be there on Sunday. So I might just do it just for the hell of it.
Yeah. That's how you quiet everybody down.
That's right. And then Monday I have a day off. It's Labor Day, but I would normally have Monday off because I worked on Sunday. So what that means is when a holiday falls on a normal day off, it means you get an extra day off during the week.
Nice.
So then the Thursday after next Monday, I'll get that off and I'll have a 4-day weekend then. So that'll be really nice. Monday, I don't know, not sure what I'll do here at home. I may sleep all day. Who knows? Maybe I'm just exhausted. There's one, I'm at heart an introvert, although I have noticed that as I've gotten older and I've become more and more extroverted, at least I can play a good game. But it does wear me out. So we'll see how much this bingo thing wears me out. The goal is I'm going to keep this goal, even though I haven't hit it now for the last 2 or 3 times. Try to get through 5,000 words of editing and see what happens. So that's my coming up week. In terms of stuff to share, now you may have heard this already if you've been listening to the Indie Author Club. NaNoWriMo is, of course, extinct because I can't remember exactly. Something about some neo-Nazi misogynist, dissing on queer black feminists or whatever. I don't know. I can't remember what the deal was. You
just got us so many more listeners with those buzzwords.
So anyways, but that's defunct. But in its place, Pro Writing Aid is going to be holding a Novel November program. So it's going to be like NaNoWriMo, but hopefully more PC, I guess. I have no idea. Because I can't remember. I can't remember. Maybe Pro Writing Aid will only allow you to use PCs. Maybe that's what it is. But yeah, I heard James Blatch touting it on the podcast, so I figured that's probably something I'll do come November. We'll see.
And I remembered now. So I told you before the podcast, I couldn't remember what I was thinking about. I was talking to myself on Saturday on my way to golf. I couldn't remember what it was. So first off, I didn't mention Monday. Monday is the one day where I will get some writing done. I do plan on writing in the morning. It's Labor Day. I'll go somewhere. Hopefully Chick-fil-A's open. I'll go somewhere and try to get 1,500 words in. But Saturday morning, I was thinking about. I was listening to that, and I think at one point I just paused the podcast and thought to myself, "Boy, that'd be an interesting idea if I could take this story that I talked about last week, the one that I wanted to write that has nothing to do with my series. It was just kind of something that came to me." And again, I don't want to get into the plot too much. I don't know how much I talked about last week. I don't want to get into the plot too much. I think I told you after the podcast what it was. And I thought, man, I could really, try to edit book 2 between getting this book done and November 1st. And then during November, try to write the first draft of this book in their novel November, which doesn't exactly roll off the tongue, but neither did Gino Rimo.
Yeah.
So I thought maybe I could do that. So I really like the series I'm working on. I really want to get books out there. So I don't know if pausing for a month is a good idea, but I also really like this story and can't stop thinking about it in my head. So there's a chance that I do that for novel November.
And you got a lot of time to think about it between now and November. You may just blow that thing out of the water really quickly. It's not like you have to write the whole 30 days. If it does,
I could do plotting every now and then in the evening, just get a little bit done here and there, and then have something to write. That's what I was thinking. If I plot it really well, I can write it really fast.
Yeah, and then shoot for like a long novella length, thing, or and that'd be perfect.
Yeah. Anyway,
for a little.
Actually, that's actually a good idea because I do like writing novellas. We talked about that last time.
It'll be a little palate cleanser, and then you'll be able to get back to editing, and it'll be like it's fresh. So
yeah, you're right. Yeah, so there's a chance. So, all right, I don't have anything else to share, so that is going to be the podcast for today. And you have nothing else to talk about?
No.
All right, everyone. That's going to be it for this week. We will be back 1 week from today, and you are off, and I am off, so it could be a little bit earlier in the evening.
Yep.
And we can get going. So, thanks for everyone for listening, and we'll talk to y'all next week. I didn't do the contact us. Should I do that?
No,
should I tell people how to contact? All right. So if you want to get, I knew something was missing too. I'm Russ. I'm still tired. Rich. I'm still tired. If you want to get in touch with me, you can email me jerry@jerryevanoff.com. Contact the website is jerryevanoff.com. And again, I'm going to dust off that Facebook page at some point. Facebook.com/@jerryevanoff.
Maybe we should record an outro with underlying music, and then you could just cue it up and run it right at the very end. And
really do all this stuff. I may look into that here. Yeah. We'll get Sarah from the air conditioning place to record it.
Yeah, exactly. My email address is rich@richcasey.com, and you can find me on Blue Sky at Kacy himself.
All right, that is going to be the end of the podcast, everyone. Thanks all for listening. We'll talk to y'all next week.
Yeah, have a great week.